Recent reports indicate that test anxiety can alter test scores by as much as 12%. That's a big number in this day of very important test taking. The report also indicated that test anxiety can begin as young as the second grade. Hello, I'm Steve Searcy, one of the developers of Test Day, an interactive web program to help children manage test anxiety, build self-confidence, and actually raise test scores. You know, this program is not about testing skills. It is about the psychology of being ready to take a test. Think of it this way. An athlete that's in the prime of condition, knows all the right moves, and yet goes out on the field and isn't thinking like a winner. What happens? They don't do their personal best. And that's what this program is about. Whether the student is an A student or a C student, it's about getting everyone to perform at their best and so bring up everybody's test scores. But let's take a moment and listen to what some experts say about Test Day and its effectiveness.
Hello, I'm Dr. Melanie Dean, a licensed psychologist for over 20 years. I've practiced with many adults and children over the course of my working career, and I've published over 20 books and texts on the treatment of various disorders in both adults and children. I've worked with kids with test anxiety, and every child is different. Some of them complain of a stomach ache and they don't want to go to school. Other kids get silent because they're just afraid and they're nervous. And these kids approach the test in trepidation. When I've seen kids watch the movies on Mooloos Test Day, they are captivated. They pay attention through the whole movie. They would get a little spark in their eye when they saw the reframing of a test being kind of like a game. And then they got to play games on Mooloos Test Day. And the questions really helped cement the good habits that the children need to have when they approach Test Day. So after I watched the kids do Mooloos Test Day, and then after they in fact did their testing at school, they came out feeling good. The kids that were previously silent and sullen, and you could see the fear on their face, they were kind of a little bit cocky. And it was wonderful to see their self-confidence just seemingly grow right before your eyes.
Hello, I'm Dr. Patrick Hanley. I'm a psychologist by training and an educator for many years before that. My specialty area is personality testing and assessment and developing a variety of other tests and measures for professional organizations and educators. And the problem is with test anxiety. When people freeze up or choke up or get restless or nervous, they don't perform as well as they could. In fact, some research shows that performance drops as much as 12% when an individual experiences test anxiety. There's a lot of research on that, and some of it as much as 30 years ago. So this is a known thing. The challenge has been how to help alleviate the issue of the problem, and particularly in young children. The project that I'm talking about today and so enthused about is Mooloos, because this program allows kids through a series of online games and short videos and clips and find ways to actually learn to reduce their test anxiety because they think differently. They think of, instead of it being a test, that it's a game. They go through a series of activities such as in the Mooloos program that allows them to develop their skills and think in terms of having fun on test day, think in terms of how to be self-assured and self-confident rather than fearful of the results.
Test Day focuses on three main things. One, it empowers the student to take charge of the test taking. Two, it reframes test taking to be more like a game for a child. Number three, it encourages positive self-talk about test taking. Now let's take a few minutes and look at some of the highlights of Test Day. Test Day is an 8-minute animated movie that helps students identify test anxiety and shows them what to do about it. It creates a foundation for both teacher and student to discuss the subject. It's also a lot of fun. The Little Bird's Song is a 4-minute story video making students aware of self-talk and how important it can be. Most young people are not aware of the voice that exists in their heads, much less its power. This animated story will help children be aware of what they say to themselves. This is the first step in creating positive self-talk. The story gives them a frame of reference, showing the results of good and bad self-talk. The activities will allow the teacher to integrate positive self-talk into everyday class activities, affecting not only test-taking, but also other important parts of the student's life. The discussion points and activities are found in the teacher printout section. Students can play animated games on test day. These games are fun and at the same time reinforce test as games and test preparation knowledge. These types of games assist students with attention, sensory integration, and visual processing. These are valuable tools in becoming great test takers. Countdown to game day. Students create a 10-day countdown to an important test by building a personalized schedule to include bedtime, positive self-talk, nutrition, reading practice, and exercise. The countdown is a print-off that the student can later put up at home or in the classroom. This activity empowers the student to take control of their schedule and commit to a plan. These steps to take control are critical in minimizing test anxiety. Be a test maker. Students read and listen to stories. Afterwards, they become test makers using the Mooloos Test Builder program to create and print out tests they can give to their study partners. Students are always taking tests, but seldom, if ever, get to make a test. This activity demystifies tests and engages the student to begin figuring out what would make a good test question. This is the beginning of critical thinking that will help students later identify what is important in anticipating test questions. In the teacher printout section, there are a variety of posters that can be downloaded, all emphasizing important points of being good test takers. This is also where the 4th and 5th grade Reader's Theater presentation can be found and downloaded. The play features great test takers and their success tips. It is an opportunity for peer-to-peer learning, the older students now able to teach the younger students how to be great test takers. Thank you for spending your time to investigate Test Day. We thank you for your interest and hope that you find it a great value in your educational future.